Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Morph into Light, the secret of light body activation. I'm calling this a presentation of Stargate U, and you'll see why I have labeled that as such within just a couple of minutes here. I wanted to begin by just taking a moment to reflect. What has led you to this very moment? Are you seeking a path towards becoming an awakened being? Do you see your own potential to become something more than human? And most importantly, how will you know when you get there? So many of the questions we're going to be talking about today. And I wanted to also bring in an email I received from a person who wrote to me who had interest in this event. Said, William, I read over the info on your conference and found it interesting. All I read was informal get-together, lecture, tour, presentation, and informal brunch. I don't know where he got the brunch idea. All of which sounds interesting. I did not read anything about an activation. Will there be an activation? Bob. Hi, Bob. Many thanks for writing. Please tell me what exactly you're anticipating or expecting, and I'll be happy to answer your question. I mean, that covers a lot of territory. And so then he writes back and he says, expecting, you wrote informal get-together, lecture, tour, presentation, informal brunch, yada, yada. Yet the name of your conference has the word activation in it. Will you be doing an activation with honor for those that attend? Well, have no fear. I'm not going to zap you into a ball of light or anything this morning. I'm very approachable. But he says, sadly, and this is why I introduced this. This is very poignant. He says, sadly, I'm one of those that read the Bible and other things, all of which said, to my understanding, that we were capable of many wonderful things, none of which I was living or seeing. So I started taking seminars. Here again, they all seemed to say much was possible, but I never really seemed to get it. It being the ability to really change my life for the better, the way I wanted or was led to believe was possible. It seems to me that my last hope is that someone, somewhere, somehow, will do an activation, integration, healing, or something that will flip the switch, turn me on so that I can be all that I can be. I am 64, so my time is running out. I took my first seminar in '72, and then he mentions that he'd been doing readings and all of this, and so I wrote back and I said, Bob, what you're asking for is the ultimate gift. Only you can give it to yourself. Hey, I think you're doing great. I wrote to him. I'd say that everything he's been doing, like all of us, everything that each of us has been doing our entire lives is activating, healing, and helping us to get it. Now is the time for you to be it. As Nike says, just do it. Flip the switch to yes. And that's the main thing I'm hoping to work with you all on this weekend is let's just flip the switch to yes. Further, what I hope to do as a mythologist, and that's my role, I'm an investigative mythologist. I research ancient myths and legends. I'm hoping to put some esoteric knowledge and mythological knowledge into your repertoire, into your thinking about what it means to be an activated human being, which is defined as a light being, and hoping to prepare you for the most extraordinary experience that any of us can have. That experience comes when we have a meeting with our higher self, and we're given the gift of the ultimate knowledge about how to transform ourselves. And that's what I'm hoping to prepare you for, is to give you the background knowledge, the lore that goes with that. I've researched many of the prophets, Enoch, Elijah, Ezekiel, who have received this activation, and they were all masters of ancient mythology, of esoteric lore, because they knew there was going to come a time when they're going to have what is described as an interview with your higher self. And if you pass that interview and get the job, you're good to go, ready to launch. Few ideas in the ancient world in this regard played a more important role than the notion of the heavenly tablets or the heavenly book. That's what we're all after. And one of the most significant features in this history is often overlooked, and that is that this book is put in the palm of our hand by a heavenly being or a group of heavenly beings. In the story of Enoch, it says explicitly from the heavenly being that I shall place the tablets of wisdom in thy hand. And these tablets are the symbol of sovereignty. Now, I don't want to come off as sounding all paranoid here, but there's a group of people on this planet that would like to put something else in the palm of your hand, namely a little chip. And personally, I think we have less than 5 years to get this knowledge about sovereignty put in the palm of our hands before somebody else comes along and decides that they're going to imprison us even further. So that's why this information is so important. We have a tremendous opportunity on this planet right now to learn about becoming sovereign beings, to become fully activated humans. And if we're not knowledgeable in the lore and the lingo, if you sit down in that interview and don't know what they're talking about, it's not going to go well. But if I do my job right, I'm going to prepare you for that interview and even more. One of my favorite subjects in this regard is King Seti. He lived in ancient Egypt, a little bit after the time of Moses. You go into his temple, and he's portrayed here kneeling in a sycamore tree before the god Ptah, the Egyptian creator god, who we're told actually created the human body and also created a whole lot of other technology in the ancient world. And what we notice is that Seti here is kneeling before Ptah, and Ptah is literally writing the secrets of eternity right into Seti's hand. Seti is known as one of the transfigured ones. He was able to transfigure or metamorphose himself into light and now toggles back and forth between the worlds according to the lore. To see the world in a grain of sand, wrote William Blake, and to see heaven in a wildflower, hold infinity in the palm of your hands and eternity in an hour. That's our goal. We want that knowledge, and we want it placed in the palm of our hand. The goal of the ancient and venerable Stargate Mystery School, or Stargate University as I refer to it, is to have an interview with your higher self, your true self, get the heavenly book, and then achieve conscious union with the Godhead. That is our ultimate mission.